But suddenly, the fox demon reappeared, hovering midair. What was eerie was her body began splitting, creating one identical figure after another. There were 9 identical fox demon replicas. The transformation was instant. I was stunned. Cloning technique? The maiden sneered, a mere cloning trick, and you dare flaunt it before me? I've seen more advanced clones than you've eaten grains of salt. Break for me. Buzz. The maiden laughed heartily, the chimes of her bell continuously bombarding the 9 fox demons. They winced in pain, but pushed on, advancing toward her despite the onslaught. Suddenly, the bell's toll diminished. The maiden went rigid with shock. All 10 of the fox demons remained solid, none fading like illusions. They were real. The maiden was surrounded in an instant. Her eyes widened, and she froze in terror. 10 hands clamped down on her. In the blink of an eye, the maiden was subdued. Why? Why can't I undo your clones? Weren't they supposed to be illusions? What trickery is this? The maiden was utterly horrified. The fox demon, her face expressionless, responded coldly, You, a celestial immortal of the heavens, don't know? A 9-tailed fox has 9 tails each capable of forming a tangible clone. The maiden, furious, attempted to shake her bell so she could issue a threat. Her voice grew more menacing as her bravado flared. Do you think you'd dare kill me? You wouldn't. The mere mention of my master's name would terrify you. You'd better release me right now, and I could even say a kind word about you to him. My master could elevate you to a position of power in the celestial realm. The maiden's voice grew colder. You've become a celestial, sure. Maybe that grants you something in the mortal realm. But up there, you're still just a fox. Offending me brings you nothing but trouble. You'd be wise to. The fox demon responded indifferently, I've ascended to immortality, what use is there in being wise? As her words dropped, the 9 figures turned as one and merged together. The fox demon reached out a single hand and gripped the maiden's neck. Crack, the sound of shattering bone rang out, the maiden's neck collapsed and shattered in an instant. She hadn't even had time to shake the bell. Her pupils dilated rapidly, and her lifeless body went limp as she slumped to the ground, slain in a single motion. Even in death, her face bore an arrogance that seemed not to comprehend that a little fox spirit would dare to kill her. Both the thunder struck bamboo beneath my feet and I froze in shock. The lightning mother stiffened as well. This was bad. The fox demon had killed someone. The maiden's essence would linger. If her master, one of the great celestials, detected it, the fox demon would undoubtedly be executed. I rushed forward, the lightning mother urgently flying over as well. You shouldn't have done it yourself, you should have let me. You're a celestial now, you can't afford to take such risks, I said, my voice filled with worry. The fox demon replied coldly, she injured you earlier. Now that I've ascended, it was necessary to eliminate her. I was speechless. The maiden's death had momentarily spared the lightning mother from any consequences. No divine scrutiny had yet descended upon her for breaking heavenly rules. The lightning mother's face was blanched, clearly unprepared for how swiftly the fox demon had acted. You haven't even congratulated me, the fox demon said. Congratulations, I finally managed to say, snapping out of it. From this day on, I'll protect you, the fox demon declared resolutely. I fell silent. She had just been granted her celestial status, I couldn't bear to implicate her further. Let go quickly. You need to report to the southern gate now. If there's even a trace of her essence left on you, disaster will strike. Remember not to arouse suspicion, celestial immortals are incredibly skilled at mind reading, the lightning mother urged with urgency. The fox demon released the corpse, letting the maiden's body collapse onto the ground. The golden bell she had carried still emitted bursts of intense, celestial light. What about the bell? The fox demon asked. We both hesitated. A celestial artifact cannot be casually taken, for if it was tracked, the consequences would be dire. Yet leaving it behind seemed just as problematic. The bell's power is immense, it could defeat even the 8 immortals in just 3 strikes. Thankfully, she didn't unleash its full potential, otherwise, we would have all suffered greatly. But this presents a loophole, the lightning mother mused aloud. There doesn't seem to be a divine consciousness imprinted upon this bell. If there were, it would have flown back on its own after her death. Without one, it's vulnerable to being used temporarily, that's its flaw. Her analysis made my eyes light up. While we couldn't use the bell ourselves, we could indeed make it a scapegoat. What if we handed this bell to someone else, drawing the celestials' wrath toward them? When the heavens discovered the maiden's death, they'd surely pursue the bell. In this chaos, we could redirect the heat away from ourselves. The question was, who should we give the bell to? Or maybe it's real, but we should still bury it somewhere or throw it away to stay safe. The lightning mother crouched down, trembling slightly, as she pried open the maiden's fingers, extracting the golden bell. Sure enough, the bell gave no reaction. The Thunder Mother let out a breath, and the cold sweat on her forehead stopped. Both the millennial fox spirit and I sighed in relief. Thunder Mother, don't lose this bell. Let me hold on to it for now, I said. You want to hold it? This thing's a real hot potato, the Thunder Mother said in surprise. I gave a brief explanation, and after thinking it over, she handed the bell to me. As soon as I took it, I immediately felt its surprising weight. A golden bell, the size of a fist, but somehow weighing over 100 pounds. I wrapped it in demonic energy, making sure it didn't make a sound before stowing it away. Yet the moment the bell touched my side, I felt cold sweat drip down my back, and an eerie chill sweep the back of my skull. I couldn't help but shudder, feeling like someone who had just stolen tens of millions, or maybe even billions, from a big shot. Are you all right? Asked the Thunder Mother. I'm fine, I replied hurriedly. I silently resolved to get rid of this thing as soon as possible before trouble found me. You clear your aura, then report upward, the Thunder Mother instructed the millennial fox spirit. The millennial fox spirit cast an uneasy glance at me. Don't worry, I'll take good care of her. I'll go see her right now. Suddenly, I thought of something and crouched to grab the deceased young girl. Be careful with her primordial spirit, gods always have one. Don't let it escape. I'd almost let the god of pestilence's primordial spirit slip away due to negligence last time. Gods and us demonkind are vastly different, they essentially have two lives, a physical body and a primordial spirit. If the girl's primordial spirit escaped, it'd be big trouble. The Thunder Mother pulled me up and, with a wave of her hand, shot a surge of lightning from her fingertips. With a crack, the bolt hit the girl's body. Instantly, blazing electric flames engulfed the corpse, accompanied by a pained wail. A faint, translucent primordial spirit seemed to emerge from her head, but it was scorched into nothingness by the electric fire as soon as it appeared. The corpse itself turned to ash. In less than half a minute, the girl was gone entirely, leaving no trace she'd ever existed. This lightning was incredibly potent. The millennial fox spirit and I stood there, stunned. If you want to destroy a god's corpse, electric fire is one way. Anyway, we're officially accomplices in god-slaying now, the Thunder Mother remarked. A pang of guilt struck me. I hadn't expected the Thunder Mother to get caught up in this mess. Stop zoning out. Get going. Someone's waiting for you upstairs, she urged the millennial fox spirit. The millennial fox spirit snapped back to reality and looked at me. I'll watch over you from the heavens. All right. She leaned in, giving me a gentle hug, and I felt a pang of sorrow as a wave of deep guilt overtook me. As she pulled away, her eyes glistened with tears. I think I might have really wronged someone. Wait for me. I'll come back for you. When you see my daughter, give her this. She'll understand everything. She took out a small box and handed it to me. I accepted it as she gently ascended into the clouds, successfully ascending to immortality. I stood in place, my emotions in turmoil. If not for the Jade Emperor's decree for execution, ascending to godhood would have been the very goal I'd been striving for. But life has a way of working against you. The Thunder Mother broke my thoughts. Who did she say she wronged? I don't know, I replied. Sigh. I hope she fares well up there, the Thunder Mother said, a hint of worry in her tone. I need to go too, I still have other tribulations to oversee, she said, clearly busy. All right. By the way, make sure you keep that golden bell safe. Don't let it ring. I know, Godmother. You know, the bell's material is special, it's made of several rare celestial substances. If someone could refine it, that'd be one way to deal with it, the Thunder Mother said. I thought to myself, where would I even find someone to refine it? The risks are too great. Best not think about it. I hesitated before asking, Godmother, does one need to undergo a tribulation to become a demon? The Thunder Mother's eyes widened. Don't tell me you're thinking of? Then she sighed. But honestly, what other choice do you have? With your talent, if you were to ascend, your rank in the celestial hierarchy would be quite high. What a pity. Child, if you want to become a demon, you can't exactly announce it openly. No way. If you're becoming a demon, you don't need my lightning tribulation. Celestials and demons are inherently opposed. I can't help someone who's turning to the demonic. That was a fair point. But if there's no tribulation, how would one enter the demonic realm? To become a demon, you'll have to move in secret and cross the demon sea. Only by enduring the baptism of 18 tribulations of demonic lightning in the demon sea can you come ashore and naturally become a demon. That's the first method, the Thunder Mother explained. I was startled. Doesn't the demon sea have celestial guardians? If it does, proper planning would be a must. Could there possibly be a second method? I pressed her further. The second method is to rely on slaughter to become a demon. You'd need to kill more than 10,000 people. It's essentially ascending through murder, the Thunder Mother continued. I froze. That was something I couldn't do, and surely the Dragon Princess of the Yangtze wouldn't think of it either. This is from the 116th/118th section. Please process the following content logically and maintain the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout. Only return the processed result. The third option is to find the demon mother. She's similar to me and could help with the tribulation, but she's almost always in the demon realm and rarely visits the mortal world. It's a near impossible method, just for you to hear out, said Dianmu. I kept her words in mind. But, Dianmu sighed. I stayed silent. The Mother of Laws thinks highly of you. Are you really certain you want to turn to the demonic path? Dianmu asked. I gave a bitter smile. Godmother, do I even have a choice? There's no choice. But you can wait, Dianmu replied. Wait? What if the Mother of Laws seeks you out first? I laughed bitterly. Godmother, how could she possibly show up on her own? Though unlikely, since she sealed you, there's always a possibility, Dianmu said. That's just wishful thinking, isn't it? All right, take care. After she finished, I reminded her, Godmother, you don't look well. Please be careful. Dianmu spoke with a calm indifference. This matter will come to light sooner or later, even if it means breaking the heavens. As for the issue behind the maid, Dianmu didn't dare to elaborate further. I stayed silent. I've mentally prepared myself to deal with the aftermath. Don't worry, I'll go, she said. My heart ached with sourness, worried she might be harmed, worried she might face execution. Dianmu turned into a flash of lightning and vanished into the clouds. I stood there, stunned, as the cold wind whipped around me. Looking up at the sky, I wondered, would the 1,000-year-old fox demon be alright? A shiver ran through my body, snapping me out of my thoughts. I looked at the box in my hand and turned my gaze towards the bamboo sword of lightning. Bamboo sword, take me to the 1,000-year fox demon's lair. I need to see whether to bring her daughter out. The bamboo sword immediately whisked me away. Half a day later, I landed at the lair, jumping down as the bamboo sword followed closely behind me. The moment I stepped inside, a small fox darted out from the house and leapt onto me. She'd already caught my scent long before. Nuzzling against me with her head, she expressed her longing for me. She still couldn't speak yet. Looking at her, an inexplicable feeling swelled in my chest. She's exactly like a little daughter craving affection. The little fox's obedience tugged at my heart. She was all alone in the house, neat and clean. Ever since her tribulation, she had become remarkably well-behaved. Who wouldn't adore her? Your mother just ascended to immortality, I said. The little fox's eyes sparkled with joy, but soon after, she looked at me with the sorrowful gaze of an orphan grieving the loss of her parents. Her watery, shining eyes seemed like they could brim over with tears at any moment. I couldn't hold it together. Whatever she asked for, I felt like granting it to her even if it were the moon in the sky. Don't be afraid, I haven't finished speaking. I told her, from now on, I'll take care of you in your mother's place. Whatever you need, just tell me. And I'll give you two choices. One is to stay here, and in the next couple of days, I'll find some resources to help you cultivate and speak quickly. The little fox shook her head vehemently, clutching my arm tightly with her little paws. I was stunned. You don't want to stay home? You want to come with me? She nodded desperately. I instantly denied her, no way. Lu Dongbin was likely already searching for me. I had dangerous paths to traverse where I couldn't bring her along. If anything happened to her, how could I face the 1,000-year fox demon? The other option would be to find her an absolutely safe new home. The little fox drooped her ears in despair, tears streaming down her face. Crying won't help. Stay put at home like a good girl, or I'll have to punish you. I sternly put her down on the ground. Whimpering, the little fox cried like an abandoned orphan, utterly pitiful. It tore at my heart, yet I had to remain firm. Go back into the house right now. With tearful eyes, she stared at me, her tears flowing endlessly. Still not listening? I raised my voice just a little. She turned around, crying as she retreated into the room, her head peeking out past the door to watch me. Her obedient yet forlorn demeanor made her all the more heart-wrenching. Why are you still looking? I scolded. She withdrew her head, leaving behind 2 teardrops that fell to the ground. I felt my heart wrench. That look of hers was unbearable. After berating her, my heartache only worsened. Stepping outside, I strengthened the protective wards around the lair to prevent anyone from capturing or harming her. Once I confirmed the area was secure, I returned inside. Shall I go find some spiritual herbs? The bamboo sword of lightning suggested. That would be ideal, I replied. As her natural affinity was with wood, she had a keen sense for spiritual herbs. The more herbs she brought back, the better. The resources would help the little fox focus on cultivation, easing my mind. Wait here. I'll be back soon, the bamboo sword said as she streaked away. Within half an hour, she returned with 13 spiritual herbs. One plant, in particular, boasted a 3,000-year lifespan. Its dense spiritual energy made it remarkably rare. With these herbs, the little fox wouldn't lack resources for her future cultivation. I carried the herbs into her room. At her door, I set the herbs down and found her quietly crying, loneliness etched across her little frame. Use these for now. I'll come back roughly every 6 months, I said. She whimpered softly in response. I'm leaving now. Stay safe and don't wander off, I reminded her. As I reached the entrance, I remembered the small box the 1,000-year fox demon had entrusted to me for her daughter. Turning back, I saw her leaning against the door, her tears still flowing. She looked reluctant to part with me yet remained obedient. This is what your mother left for you. I placed the box down and walked out of the cave. I closed the formation to prevent any danger. Sir, where are we going? Lei Jiju asked. To, Wah, crying suddenly echoed from behind me. I turned to see her running out, sobbing hysterically, desperately chasing after me. She clung to the formation, her little claws bleeding. My expression darkened. What on earth did her mom leave for her to make her act like this? Go back, I commanded sharply. Wah! Her cries intensified, and she spun in distress. Even Lei Jiju softened. She's scared. Her mother ascended to immortality. She feels like an orphan now. She only feels safe with you. She's still so young. No, it's too dangerous to be with me. I firmly refused. Walking up to her, I lowered my voice. If you don't behave, don't blame me for spanking you. Go back. She kept crying, her claws digging into the ground, bleeding even more. I sighed, opened the formation, and pulled her into my arms, then gave her a light spanking. Smack, smack, smack. Didn't I tell you to listen? I struck her little bottom gently, careful not to hurt her. She clung to me tightly, her cries gradually subsiding. She refused to let go, wrapping her arms around me as if she hadn't been held in 1,000 years. I tried to pry her off. She whimpered in pain, but she wouldn't loosen her grip. I feared I might hurt her bones. Sir, maybe we should just take her along for now, Lei Jiju suggested. No, it's too risky, I said firmly. But she won't let go. If you keep pulling, you'll dislocate her arm, Lei Jiju said helplessly. I was at a loss. I couldn't hit her hard, couldn't yell anymore without making her cry again. Then, just as I struggled with what to do, a voice rang in my ear. Shaolin, I'm here. Come find me. It was Lu Dongbin urging me to handle the celestial array. Perfect timing to avoid getting caught by heavenly soldiers. Yet, I hesitated. Let go, I said sternly. The little fox looked at me with tear-filled eyes and held on tighter. Let go, I shouted. She squeezed her eyes shut and clung even more tightly. Fine. I'll take you with me. But you have to carry the spiritual herbs I gave you. Otherwise, it'll all go to waste, I bargained. The little fox shook her head but didn't relax her grip. Did she see through my ploy? This little creature, too clever for her own good. Sir, she's really smart, Lei Jiju remarked. Smart, eh? I muttered. She must have inherited the cunning mind of her millennium-old fox demon mother. The little fox puffed up her chest indignantly. Her eyes darted, and she suddenly raised a paw and pointed in a direction. On instinct, I glanced that way and immediately froze. Was she pointing toward Lu Dongbin's location? Could she possess a heightened sense of perception? Could she accurately sense people from afar? I was stunned. Even Lei Jiju seemed taken aback. This little fox's father must have had remarkable talents to pass down such an ability. I nodded in agreement. It seemed the little fox wasn't planning to let go anytime soon. Helpless, I decided to let Lu Dongbin handle it. He could use immortal methods to separate her, and I'd find a place for her to hide. I couldn't waste any more time. Lu Dongbin had already descended, and the heavenly troops would be here soon. I grabbed the Lei Jiju sword and gave my order. Take me to Lao Si first. Understood. Lei Jiju's sword immediately took flight, shooting through the air. I looked down at the little fox. Now that we were flying, she finally seemed relieved but clung even more tightly to me. What did I owe you in my past life to be stuck with you like this? I muttered bitterly. If it weren't for her mom being a millennium fox demon, I'd have roasted her by now. Are your claws okay? I asked. Her little paws were bleeding profusely. She seemed suspicious of me, shaking her head cautiously as if I might trick her again. Her wariness made me laugh quietly. I channeled demon energy to heal her wounds, and they recovered quickly. She looked up at me, her face glowing with admiration. "What are you staring at?" I purposely avoided her gaze. She pouted, her ears drooping, and began to whimper again. Suddenly, she pointed forward frantically, as if something urgent awaited. I blinked, startled. Reflexively, I looked ahead. The skies were clear, no signs of danger. "Lei Jiju, do you sense anything?" I inquired. "Nothing," Lei Jiju responded. I chuckled, looking down at the little fox. "You little rascal, are you playing tricks on me now?" "Wah!" The little fox panicked. She leapt up to my arm, gesturing insistently with her tiny paws, frantic and desperate. I didn't understand her, yet she had clearly let go of me. Something must have been wrong. "Lei Jiju, there's a mountain ahead. Let's check there." Without hesitation, Lei Jiju shifted course and flew us toward the mountain. Once hidden within, I masked myself and the little fox with my demon energy. She stared out toward the distance, her eyes wide and full of fear. A minute passed. Nothing appeared. I frowned, confused. "Sir, shall we keep moving?" Lei Jiju asked. Just as the words left his mouth, the sky suddenly changed. A massive glowing circle appeared above, and with a sharp crack, an armored soldier fell from the circle. Then a second, a third. In mere moments, 20 celestial soldiers descended. Each of these soldiers was towering and robust, emanating an aura of divine light. They floated in the air, distorting the surrounding space into a ripple of chaos. There was no doubt about it, these were celestial soldiers. And not just ordinary celestial soldiers. In addition to their divine energy, they carried a heavy, overwhelming killing aura. That bloodlust couldn't be acquired easily, it was forged through countless battles and lives taken. Seeing this lineup, I was stunned. Instinctively, I glanced toward the little fox. These celestial soldiers came so quickly. It seems that after I vanquished the plague god, the heavenly emperor must be truly furious. The little fox fixated her gaze on the 20 celestial soldiers. Even Lei Jiju, wide-eyed with surprise, remarked, "Sir, if not for this little one earlier, we might have run straight into them." True enough. The little fox had been so restless just now because she had sensed these celestial soldiers' impending arrival in advance. No wonder she could pinpoint Lu Dongbin's direction so precisely. Her ability to sense danger was incredibly sharp. If it weren't for her, I'd have been caught completely off guard when these 20 soldiers appeared, left with no choice but to flee. It suddenly dawned on me, it was absolutely the right decision to bring her along. This time, we dodged a bullet. As I watched the celestial soldiers hovering before me, I quickly suppressed my breath, keeping myself hidden. Fortunately, those 20 heavenly soldiers only glanced around the perimeter coldly and didn't fix their eyes on the mountain where we were hiding. I finally let out a sigh of relief. We could only wait for them to leave before continuing on toward Lu Dongbin's location. I kept a close watch on their every move. Today, Long Shiba hid away, but next time he would definitely show himself and take them all down. What kind of lousy place is this? No trace of spiritual energy at all. "I feel like I'm tied up and can't move the moment I step down," one heavenly soldier began to complain. "Same here. Even being able to use half our power is a stretch." "Stop complaining, the Jade Emperor's furious this time. He's already issued a death order. We must capture that Long Shiba. How dare he kill the plague god? Does he think no one in the celestial realm cares? And that dragon girl, too, we have to find her quickly," another soldier said. "The mortal world is big, finding someone should be easy. But Long Shiba's strong enough to kill the plague god, hiding him won't be simple." "Hiding? Don't joke. Let's just capture all his family and kill them, where else can he hide?" "Good idea, but Long Shiba doesn't have many relatives in the mortal records, only his father is still alive." "What about his mother?" "No record." "No record? Maybe she isn't important enough to make the records. Then let's look for his dad first? His dad's a death row inmate. That family's really cursed. Forget it. We'll search for a day first." "Agreed. By the way, we should check on the 9 Yuan Demon Lord's side too." "Absolutely. The plague god said before dying there's trouble near 9 Yuan Demon Lord, we need to keep an eye on him." "Okay, let's split into 3 parties, 2 to the 9 Yuan Demon Lord, 2 to find the dragon girl, and the rest to find Long Shiba. The dragon girl has thousands of years of accumulated virtue, she should be easier to track down. When found, execute her immediately and bring her head as proof. We must catch Long Shiba within 3 days." "No problem, 3 days is more than enough. He's just a useless dragon, catching him will be quick. If we catch him, we can eat dragon meat too." "Good plan. The 20 heavenly soldiers divided into 3 groups and vanished quickly. I watched their backs, my heart tense. Would they go to the mysterious cave entrance again? With my strength, I should be able to handle 2 heavenly soldiers. I hoped the secret of the 9 Yuan demon lord's appearance hadn't been exposed to the heavens. After they left for 10 minutes, I held the little fox, stepped out, and breathed a long sigh of relief. We'd escaped disaster. The little fox exhaled like a human. I laughed. You really are useful, little one. She whimpered, clutching me tightly, afraid of being left behind. So clever. Hearing that they were searching for the Yangtze River dragon girl made me anxious. She was near the Yingzhan platform. Would those heavenly soldiers accidentally find her? Worry not at me. Lei Jizhu, take me there quickly. Lu Dongbin was supposed to wait for me at Yingzhan platform to warn the dragon girl to be alert. All right. Lei Jizhu hurried me toward Yingzhan platform. 3 hours later, we arrived, but Lu Dongbin was nowhere to be seen. Strange, shouldn't he have waited for me to drink together? Maybe something urgent came up? Uncertain, I began searching the mountains near Yingzhan platform, preparing to find the dragon girl first. Suddenly, the little fox panicked. I immediately ordered Lei Jizhu to hide us on a mountainside. I released my demon energy to mask the 3 of our presences. Within 5 minutes, 2 heavenly soldiers flew in, hovering in the air, as if they had found their target. I panicked. Had they found the dragon girl so quickly? They said the dragon girl had accumulated virtue, making her easier to find. Did this mean the dragon girl could be discovered at any time? There's strong aura of virtue around here. Could the dragon girl be hiding nearby? One soldier looked around, suspicious. The plague god's physical body was destroyed here. Would she be hiding nearby? The safest place is the most dangerous, don't you get it? Fine, let's search carefully around us. The 2 dispersed, searching among the mountains. One soldier passed within 100 meters of me, his gaze scanning, but he didn't stop. Luckily, my demon energy concealment worked. The little fox trembled in fear. I held her tight, finally calming her down. They searched thoroughly. I saw his eyes glowing, obviously using a divine vision technique. Such magic leaves no hiding place. With 2 soldiers searching this thoroughly, the Yangtze dragon girl would be found sooner or later. I desperately wanted to warn her but had no way to communicate. Then the little fox stared in another direction. I turned her head and said, he must have sensed the heavenly soldiers coming, she can't show herself. I breathed easier, thinking Lu Dongbin must be nearby good, so he wouldn't get involved. Soon after, the 2 soldiers regrouped. They seemed puzzled about not finding the dragon girl, and I felt relieved. It looked like her cultivation had truly improved. I watched them and listened in on their conversation. Found her? No. I felt a sinister aura here before, but it vanished once we arrived. Maybe it was just an illusion. The disappearance of the aura is too much of a coincidence. What do we do now? I'll search for another 15 minutes. Otherwise, I'm coming for you. I won't let her escape. Alright, be careful. Do I need to be careful if I can crush her with one hand? Then I'll search elsewhere. One heavenly soldier confidently flew off, leaving behind another glowing with golden light, who scanned the area. A few minutes later, growing impatient, he cast a spell. An explosion of golden light blasted through a 1-kilometer radius, accompanied by a series of loud booms. Come out. Don't think you can hide from me. You carry a grave crime and will die for it. Come out and accept your fate. He indiscriminately bombarded the area. Within a minute, half of a mountain turned to rubble, and all the trees were destroyed. Clearly, he wanted to force the Yangtze dragon maiden out. Furious, I told the little fox, stay here quietly. She shook her head desperately, but I sternly said, if you don't listen, I'm not taking you. Only then did she relent, leaping down to hide. I tightly gripped the thunderstrike bamboo. While he's attacking recklessly, take me there. The bamboo glowed and was about to fly when I froze. Under the stone smashed by the heavenly soldier lay a dark cave, the dragon maiden's training ground. I was shocked. So you've been hiding here. You almost fooled the heavenly soldiers. The heavenly soldier sneered, now that you've been found, come out obediently. Not coming out? Trying to run? I'll catch you myself, he yelled, charging into the cave at lightning speed. I quickly urged the thunderstrike bamboo to follow, but the cave suddenly shook violently. The Yangtze dragon maiden had been discovered. Why aren't you coming out? Finished your training? Come out and face death. Humph, you want to make me drink poison instead of wine, the heavenly soldier roared, explosion shaking the sky. I was alarmed. The dragon maiden was in the middle of crucial training and couldn't respond in time, making her a sitting target. With the thunderstrike bamboo sword, I rushed to the cave entrance when suddenly there was a crack, her protective aura shattered. Your head will be mine, the heavenly soldier shouted from inside, drawing his blade. Hearing that voice filled me with panic. Instantly, I unleashed the 10-step kill technique, rushing in like a phantom. The dragon maiden had just avoided the plague god's execution sword. She absolutely could not be killed so easily by the heavenly soldier. But then I was stunned. A powerful aura erupted from deep within the cave. Could her cultivation be complete? Hey, you dare resist? I'll teach you the price of defiance, the heavenly soldier roared, preparing to finish her off. Suddenly, a crisp crack was followed by a scream. It sounded like armor breaking and someone flying back into a wall. No way! You're just a dragon, how could you hurt me? The heavenly soldier yelled in terror. I rushed in and saw him struggling to get up, his breastplate cracked wide open. Clearly, the dragon maiden had broken through his armor with her bare body. The heavenly soldier had been overconfident when approaching and was caught off guard by her surprise attack, leaving him stunned. This fierce counterattack completely turned the tide. A life or death strike. Seeing the intact dragon maiden again, I felt as if I were gazing upon a celestial being, her demeanor refined. Clearly her cultivation was complete. She once told me she was one step from immortality, so close it was almost invisible. I had come to rescue her, never expecting to see the heavenly soldier in such a sorry state. Seizing the moment, the dragon maiden counterattacked. A flash of swordlight pierced the heavenly soldier. He roared, "An ambush? You really think you can win?" But the sword twisted slightly and effortlessly plunged into his shoulder. The heavenly soldier screamed, staggering backward. Her sword technique flowed like calligraphy. I was amazed she'd learned swordsmanship from writing. It was brilliant. No wonder she'd been Dragon Queen for thousands of years. The heavenly soldier's eyes widened. "What sword style is this?" "The Nameless Sword," she replied. "You created it yourself?" "Humph, just wait." Enraged, he scrambled to get up and shout for reinforcements. Turning, he caught sight of me, eyes filled with shock. You. I surged forward in a flash, thunderstrike bamboo piercing his chest. The heavenly soldier yelled, "Dragon," then his eyes darkened, and he collapsed dead. Panicked, he had accidentally impaled himself, a fitting end. I drew out the sword, lightning crackling along the blade as I slammed it onto his head. A wisp of black smoke arose, the spirit was destroyed. Phew! I finally exhaled. "Dragon Maiden, there are more heavenly soldiers outside. Let's go find another place to hide," I said urgently. If the heavenly soldiers outside noticed their comrade hadn't returned, they'd come in hot pursuit. Though we could handle one together, 18 units would be a problem. I told her 20 heavenly soldiers had come looking for us this time. The dragon maiden sheathed her sword and approached. "They won't get in. Are you not planning to come find me personally? You're cultivating. I don't want to disturb you. Go quickly," I urged anxiously. "Hiding in more places won't help. They'll find me sooner or later." "There's no place for me in the mortal world," she said gravely. Because she carried virtue. I fretted, "Then what should we do?" "Unless I go to the demon realm, they won't find me there," she said, looking at me. I was shocked. "You want to ascend to the demon realm now?" She fell silent, confirming my suspicion. After mastering her cultivation method, she really intended to ascend to the demon realm. But if it weren't for the Jade Emperor's order, she would have undergone tribulation like the 1,000-year-old fox demon and ascended to become an immortal. Yet fate is unpredictable, and you can't defy the will of heaven. The line between immortal and demon is but a thought, yet such a helpless thought. I sighed, "But you don't seem demonic." I couldn't imagine what the Yangtze River dragon girl would become after turning demon. Would she be cold and ruthless, or wildly demonic, killing without a blink? "You're not simple either," the dragon girl said. I was silent for a moment and told her the 1,000-year fox demon had already ascended to immortality. She paused, then sincerely said, "Congratulations to her." I asked if she knew how to get to the demon realm. "I do," she replied briefly. It seemed she was ready. "Then I'll escort you to the demon sea," I said. "I'll go by myself," she shook her head. I fell silent again. Dianmu had warned me the demon sea was dangerous. How could she get through alone? "The day you ascend to the demon realm, I'll wait for you," the dragon girl said. "I'm close too," I replied. "So I have to go first," she said. We both fell silent. After a minute, I asked, "Once you become a demon, will you stay in the demon realm?" With her strength, once she turned demon, she could likely become the overlord there, like the Dragon King, ruling her own domain. "No," she said without hesitation. "Really not?" "Yes. Even if I become an immortal, I don't want to stay in the immortal realm. The mortal world has been my home for thousands of years. I just want to stay in the study on my boat, reading and painting," the Yangtze River dragon girl said. I took her in. "You don't believe me?" she asked. I do. But the darkness on your brow. It's like you've fallen into a bottomless abyss with no way out. The dark mark between her eyebrows meant that once she became a demon, she was doomed to be trapped forever in the demon realm. It worried me deeply. Her personality wasn't suited for the demon realm. She said she wanted to come back, but why be stuck there forever? I will really come back, she said earnestly. I know. But once you go, you may not have the freedom to return, I said anxiously. She paused, then said firmly, I will try my best to come back. I had nothing to say, realizing I couldn't persuade her. Come, before you leave, let me read your fortune, I said. No matter the outcome, I'll be waiting for you in the demon realm. She refused. I insisted. She drew the character, Return, on the wall with her sword, symbolizing that even as a demon, she would never stay in the demon realm, she would definitely come back and continue as the dragon ruler she had been for thousands of years. You wrote Return? I felt a pang. Could it mean something was about to change? Is it good or bad? Bad. I pointed at the character on the wall. Inside this character are two squares, like a tiger's jaws closing in a trap with no escape. So once she went to the demon realm, it would be very hard to come back, matching the dark mark on her face. She was stunned. But, I just thought of something, I continued. You wrote it on the wall, not on the ground. That means something else. Her eyes sparkled. Writing on the ground is a bad omen, but writing on the wall suggests a rise in status, even if you can't come back. Writing on the ground versus on the wall, she asked. Tigers live on the ground, so writing on the ground signals real danger. But writing on the wall means it's a paper tiger, I explained. Why? She asked, puzzled. Tigers don't climb walls. It can only be a tiger painting hung on the wall, a paper tiger, I said. She suddenly understood. I get paper tiger. But why would that mean your status rises? Have you ever seen a regular household hang a tiger painting? I asked. She was stunned. No. Places that hang tiger paintings are either wealthy or powerful, I said. She fell into thought. But you can't come back. That alone is enough reason for you not to go, I tried to reason again. Where else can I go if I don't? She countered, piercing my heart. I was speechless. Another soldier from heaven has arrived. Let's part ways, she said. I tried to respond, but no words came out. She turned and walked outside. I snapped back to reality and followed. Watching the lonely figure of the Yangtze River dragon girl walk away, my heart clenched. Once she went to the demon realm, she wouldn't be able to come back. And going alone into such an unfamiliar world, what kind of mistreatment and hardship awaited her? Being in a strange place with no one around, that kind of loneliness could break even the strongest spirit. She had no one around her to talk to, so pitiful. I quickly caught up. Dragon girl, listen to me. You can go to the demon sea now, but you have to promise me this. Wait for me 3 days. Within those 3 days, I'll sort out the heavenly realm's formation, then I'll join you to enter the demon realm and ascend together. 3 days? Yes, absolutely within 3 days. I swear I'll come find you. I said solemnly. 3 days was enough time to handle things and keep her safe for the moment. I meant what I said, I wouldn't break my promise. What if you can't make it in 3 days? She asked. Do you trust me? I trust you. Then wait for me for 3 days. She looked at me but didn't answer directly. Instead, she asked, why do you want to go to the demon realm with me? I'm worried about you. That's why I want to go with you, I blurted out. After spending so much time with her, I considered her a friend, more like a confidant. I couldn't bear to just watch her fall into the abyss with no way back. She paused, her slender eyebrows lifted slightly, a smile tugging at the corner of her mouth. All right, I'll wait for you in the demon sea for 3 days. I breathed a sigh of relief. Don't worry, I'll be on time. Lu Dongbin said he was only doing a simple maintenance on the formation. Since I had the formation's authentic techniques, it wouldn't be difficult. I also didn't want to mess it up, don't want Lu Dongbin and company getting into trouble for treason. 3 days was more than enough. Okay, I'll wait for you. With those words, the wind stirred around her. I reminded her, remember, 3 days, we agreed, you have to wait. I will. I'll be sitting on the shore of the demon sea waiting for you. She soared into the sky, nodded towards Lu Dongbin's direction, then vanished into the clouds, heading for the demon sea. I imagined her waiting for me like that and immediately exhaled sharply. I hurriedly called on the thunder-striking bamboo sword to take me to find the little fox. I absolutely could not break my promise. The little fox jumped into my arms, hugging me tight, unwilling to let go. The heavenly soldiers hadn't returned yet. I told the thunder-striking bamboo sword to leave quickly. Its speed was incredible. 10 minutes later, following the little fox's hint, I decisively had it take me to hide in the mountains. I had to wait for Lu Dongbin to find me. I concealed myself with demonic energy. Sure enough, within 3 minutes, the heavenly soldiers flew back, looking suspicious. They arrived at the welcoming immortal platform, shouting, "Who did this? That dragon girl? Impossible, we, the heavenly soldiers, are unbeatable. Plus, that female dragon is even more impossible to be a match. What exactly happened? Come out. Come out. Dare to do it but won't own up? Show yourself." The heavenly soldiers went on a frantic sweep. Explosions shook our side. After 10 minutes, the blast stopped, leaving wide stretches of ruins. It was clear they called for reinforcements. The bombardment continued with back-and-forth flights, several times approaching within 100 meters, trying to find the culprit. They couldn't find me. After circling a few times, they gave up. I let out another breath. At that moment, the little fox called softly. I turned around, and Lu Dongbin was standing quietly behind me. "You're causing trouble again," he sighed. "I've got only one head. Killing a few heavenly soldiers as a sacrifice is no problem," I said. Whether it was heavenly soldiers or even the Jade Emperor in front of me, I'd still dare to strike with a sword. Lu Dongbin sighed. "The dragon girl has made great progress in her cultivation. Her talent is remarkable." Because she had just nodded to him, it meant she had already noticed him. Sadly, she's heading down the demonic path. With her aptitude, she could have been the dragon ancestor. But once she walks the demonic way, we may have to fight blade against blade. "She won't harm you," I said. "Hard to say. Once ascended as a demon, human nature only amplifies." Lu Dongbin continued, "The dragon girl's coldness is terrifying. Someone like her turning demon lord would surely bring disaster. Especially the look she gave me when she left. That eye expression made me think she's destined to become a demon lord." My face darkened. Reluctantly, I said, "Old Four, you're overthinking. You say I'm a lasting threat, I accept that, but her. Just a feeling," Lu Dongbin explained, "a fleeting impression. Maybe she was always connected to the demon realm." "Connected? Old Four, you're being paranoid." I smiled bitterly and told him about the Long River Dragon Girl's divination. Lu Dongbin was shocked. "Looks like I was right. She truly has ties with the demon realm, otherwise, why wouldn't she come back after entering?" His words made me even more worried about the Long River Dragon Girl. So I absolutely could not back out of our 3-day promise. I must keep my word. I'm going to accompany her into the demon sea, ascend as demons together, then help her return to the mortal world. Since she's destined to be linked to the demon realm, I'll help her sever that bond. Only then can she leave the demon realm and the abyss. She said she wanted to stay on the ship to paint and write. I want to stay in the mortal world too. "Old Four, how much do you really know about the demon realm?" I asked. "There's an emperor there too, the demon emperor." Not much else to say. Lu Dongbin didn't want to talk more. Clearly, he didn't want me to follow the demonic path. "By the way, that little fellow in your arms is going to be remarkable," Lu Dongbin said, looking at the little fox with admiration. The little fox looked at me with big, bright eyes. I forced a bitter smile, wanting it to cast a spell and leave, so I could help her find a hiding place. The little fox immediately clung tightly to me, as if terrified I would leave it behind. Totally heart-wrenching. "Don't rush. This little one likes you, which means you two are meant to be. Forcing you apart won't help. It's better to let things take their natural course." "What do you think?" Lu Dongbin said. I was taken aback. Though he said that, I still worried something might happen to her. Besides, bringing her to the celestial formation is no problem. "You'll just make a quick trip and come right back," Lu Dongbin reassured me. I looked down at the little fox's eager eyes and finally nodded in agreement. It was better to bring her along anyway, so she wouldn't sulk and demand to tag along. "All right then, you're coming with me." "Don't worry," I said. The little fox happily rubbed against me, like a child excited to be taken out by their dad. "But if danger comes, and I tell you to run, you have to run like your life depends on it, no hesitation," I stressed. The little fox hugged me even tighter, clearly wanting to face it together. If you won't promise, then you can't come," I said sternly. It instantly agreed with a look of hurt. "Good girl." I sighed, then added, "And the same goes for you. If you're in danger, I'll do everything I can to save you." The little fox froze, then silently cried tears of gratitude while holding on to me. Then Lu Dongbin pulled out what looked like a simple piece of clothing. "Put this on." I took it without a word and put it on right away. The celestial formation isn't in the immortal realm, nor the South Heaven Gate, but it's not far from South Heaven Gate, guarded by a powerful immortal. Still, it's better to be careful. "This garment will help you avoid a lot of trouble," Lu Dongbin explained. I suppressed my excitement. The garment was extremely light, almost weightless, clearly an immortal's robe. Its aura was perfectly concealed by it. I admired the garment's magic. Lu Dongbin said, "This is Lady He's immortal robe." I had to talk for a long time before she finally agreed to lend it to me. I quickly asked, "What about Lady He? Is she willing to help my sister?" "I don't know. I told her about your sister's situation, but she was too busy to respond. I left the inner elixir fragment there, she'll check it when she has time," Lu Dongbin said. I couldn't help but feel anxious, hoping Lady He would notice and be willing to help my sister soon. "Let's go. Hurry up and get moving. If other celestial soldiers show up, it'll be trouble," Lu Dongbin urged. Of course, I agreed. Lu Dongbin gripped my shoulder, preparing to take me up. Suddenly, the little fox in my arms grew tense. Sure enough, about 10 celestial soldiers flew in the distance, heading somewhere fast. "They're coming to catch you. If they fail within 3 days, and one soldier dies, the heavens will send more hundreds, even thousands searching, turning over every inch of the underworld without mercy," Lu Dongbin sighed, helpless. So, the 3-day agreement between me and the Yangtze Dragon Maiden must be honored. After 3 days, I feared I'd have nowhere left to hide. "Good thing they can't touch you, or you'd be dead by now," Lu Dongbin said, looking at me. I was stunned for a moment. "Yeah, I'll remember that debt." "So?" I didn't finish saying aloud, "I want to secretly strike the Jade Emperor, but I wouldn't dare touch the celestial formation." Lu Dongbin glanced at me without saying a word, then turned and flew toward the clouds. The 10 celestial soldiers in the distance showed no sign of suspicion. That meant I had avoided them for now. I sneered inwardly, "Keep searching. In 3 days, the Dragon Maiden and I will enter the demon realm together." Lu Dongbin continued flying higher. With the immortal robe, I didn't feel the freezing cold. But the higher we went, the greater the pressure around us, as if invisible walls squeezed us tightly. Apparently, without an immortal to support us, this void pressure would be unbearable. Luckily, I had a special constitution and quickly adapted. I held the little fox tightly, knowing it wouldn't endure otherwise. The little fox stayed still, only peeking out its small head, curiously looking around. After flying tens of thousands of meters, Lu Dongbin pointed south. "That's South Heaven Gate." I glanced over, seeing nothing but clouds. We were roughly at South Heaven Gate's altitude, but still quite far. South Heaven Gate leads to the immortal realm, where the Jade Emperor who wants my head waits inside. My gaze hardened. One day, I would storm right in. Lu Dongbin then pointed another way. "That's the celestial formation." I turned to look, still just clouds. But with my formation skills, I could sense strong formation energy in the void. Truly formidable. Even before seeing the formation, I could feel its power. No wonder it separates the immortal and demon realms. I thought, destroying it wouldn't be easy. The Jade Emperor's plot would have to wait for another chance. "Let's go," Lu Dongbin said as he headed toward the celestial formation. We flew for 3 hours, a fast speed by immortal standards. The formation's energy grew stronger. I knew we were close. This happens to be the 6th of 16 passages. Please handle the following content according to your logic. Keep the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout intact, and return only the processed result. It just so happens that I can make it on time for the 3-day appointment with the Dragon Maiden of the Yangtze. I glanced toward the direction of the Demon Sea, wondering if she was safely seated on the shore waiting for me. The Heavenly Realms formation is enormous, guarded in the center by a great immortal to prevent anomalies. Lu Dongbin pointed ahead. "If we want to get close, we have to get past him first. Only after receiving permission can we approach the formation." "What about me?" I became alert. "You just need to stay calm. You won't be detected," Lu Dongbin assured me. I nodded in response. "Go ahead and rest inside," I told the little fox. It obediently retreated its head. "This time, 4 of the 8 immortals are here, the other 3 are waiting for us," Lu Dongbin said. "Got it." We continued approaching, the formation's fluctuations growing stronger. In my mind, Zhang Baisui's 10 great formations surfaced. He could create those 10 great formations because he fully mastered various formations. Because of that, I learned a lot too, and spotting formations is easy for me. You could say I have clairvoyance and clairaudience. Details invisible to other immortals are crystal clear to me. The Heavenly Realms formation before us is actually a massive closed formation. Though not complicated, it's a basic formation, but with the empowerment of immortals, its durability is extremely high and heavily defensive. Such minor fundamental flaws in the formation couldn't escape my eyes. Based on my expertise in formations, I noticed that this formation needs repairs. I even sensed that somewhere it's already malfunctioning. And no one else had noticed. I asked, has the Heavenly Realms formation experienced any malfunctions recently? No, it hasn't had issues for 10,000 years. Why do you ask? Lu Dongbin looked puzzled. Nothing, I didn't elaborate further. Looks like I was right, as immortals, Lu Dongbin and the others don't understand formations and failed to detect the Heavenly Realm formation's hidden risks. I asked again, are there any immortals in the celestial realm who truly excel in formations? Basic deployments are fine, but very few truly master them. Lu Dongbin shook his head. Why is that? I wondered. Immortals up there have lived for so long, yet no one has mastered formations? I found that surprising. Lu Dongbin explained, you don't know, really. Most of us immortals focus on longevity and cultivation techniques. Formations are just a hobby for a few. I was puzzled, even if a minority, aren't there a few exceptional ones? Among many thin people, surely some are hefty, right? Lu Dongbin continued, formations don't help immortals much. No formation, no matter how powerful, can kill an immortal. My expression changed. He said, formations are just a combination of the 5 elements. Most of us have transcended the 5 elements long ago. Would you waste time studying how ants build nests? The analogy stung, yet seemed true. So formations are somewhat meaningless for immortals. However, Lu Dongbin's understanding of formations remained stuck before Zhang Baisui's era. If he knew that among Zhang Baisui's 10 great formations, some have begun to utilize the essence of heaven and earth, trapping even immortals with difficulty escaping, I wonder what he'd think. Lu Dongbin also said, building formations with immortal energy is enough. No need to delve deeper. I objected, actually, formations aren't as simple as you think. Mortal realm formations have long surpassed your limitations. Once you understand, you'd be shocked. They remained biased, thinking formations serve only defensive purposes. Lu Dongbin said, colleagues up there all think formations are simple. No formation can't be cut with one sword. If one fails, just use a second sword. Even if trapped, immortals live forever, time doesn't matter. What's the difference in staying somewhere? I urged him, look at it differently, the current formations aren't your old 5 elements formations anymore. He sighed and changed the subject, praising my unique formation skills. If you ever become an immortal, you'd be the top formation master in the celestial realm. All formations there would be under your command. Pity fate has other plans? I smiled bitterly, never expecting the celestial realm couldn't find anyone stronger in formations than me. While Lu Dongbin was flying, I warned, actually, the heavenly realm's formation might have problems. I didn't want to damage it but had to warn him, otherwise, he and the 8 immortals might be in danger. Lu Dongbin shook his head, impossible. The heavenly realm's formation was laid by 10 great immortals together. If there were issues, they'd have been found. I said, they don't understand formations, so they haven't noticed. He was surprised. You didn't get close to the formation, how did you find out? I explained, formations have layers. The higher your cultivation, the more sensitive you are. He still insisted, formations are just the 5 elements. I rolled my eyes, not wanting to argue further. Lu Dongbin said, I know you mean well. We'll be more careful. I pressed him to hurry. He asked if it was urgent. I said, I have an appointment with the Dragon Maiden, rushing to meet her. He quickened his pace. Soon, we saw a floating immortal island in the distance. The island looked like a massive tree root rising from the ground, about the size of 3 or 4 football fields. On its branches grew colorful, fist-sized fruits with human-like faces that seemed to breathe. On the island stood a house with tightly shut doors. It must be where the great immortal was stationed. I suppressed my aura and hugged the little fox in my arms. It sensed the danger and remained silent. By the island's edge, I saw 3 people who were both unfamiliar and oddly familiar. One was Iron Crutchley, leaning on a cane, his face covered in a beard. Another was Han Zhongli, cheerful and round-bellied. The last was Zhang Guolao, with graying hair and the aura of an immortal. When I was a child, Jiang Zhoushuan had told me about the 8 immortals. Now, seeing 3 of them in person, I felt unexpectedly moved. Like Lu Dongbin, they looked kind and approachable. I couldn't help but ask, why have you only just arrived? Is this the little Lin you mentioned? The 3 immortals immediately flew over with smiles, examining me carefully and showing joyous expressions. It was clear they already considered me a friend. Feeling a bit shy, I hurriedly clasped my fists in salute. After all, they knew my identity but made no attempt to avoid me. They were genuinely friendly. Lu Dongbin whispered, don't be too loud, in case that one hears us. That one should be in seclusion, probably coming out soon, Han Zhengli said. Seclusion? Lu Dongbin sighed, well, yes. The heavenly realm's formation is mostly stable, and the great immortal isn't too concerned. Seclusion for cultivation is normal. Right, We just came to repair the formation. It'll be done in a day, no hurry, Han Zhangli added. Iron Crutchley chuckled and pulled out something. First meeting, a gift for you. Han Zhangli and Zhang Guolao smiled as well. It was clearly a joint offering. I looked and saw a talisman inscribed with tadpole-like script. I quickly declined. I can't just accept gifts from you. Iron Crutchley smiled. I've already learned your identity from Dongbin. You're the young Dragon King. Great. If Dongbin recognizes you, so do we. Don't be polite, just call me Old Li. I'm Old Han, Han Zhengli said. And I'm Old Zhang, Zhang Guolao added with a smile. Lu Dongbin gave a wry smile. They've been eager to make new friends. Seeing all four of them so warm-hearted touched me deeply. Today, I'm even more determined not to break the heavenly formation. Iron Crutchley continued, this talisman is our joint effort. If you encounter danger, it can help you. I touched the talisman, feeling its immense power, and said gratefully, thank you. They were sincere. With this talisman, I had an extra card up my sleeve. You're welcome, Iron Crutchley said with a smile. I replied, I accept your gift, but I must return it. I'll report the problem with the heavenly formation to the Jade Emperor for you. Iron Crutchley, Han Zhangli, and Zhang Guolao were stunned. Clearly, like Lu Dongbin, they believed the heavenly formation wouldn't have major issues. Lu Dongbin said, Little Lin just mentioned there's a problem with the formation. The three looked puzzled. How could that be? Lu Dongbin shook his head. I'm not sure either. I spoke seriously. You just need to trust me, I won't harm you. We trust you, they nodded. After discussing, Zhang Guolao said, even if we don't know what the problem is, since you said it, we'll report it to the great immortal on duty. I nodded, feeling warmth in my heart. Even without full understanding, they chose to trust me. That's true friendship. I never expected that, besides Lu Dongbin, I could meet these three in my lifetime. What a joy! If only there was some wine. I sincerely hoped they would be rewarded, otherwise, I'd feel awkward using this gift. Keep the talisman safe, Iron Crutchley said, smiling. I gave the talisman to the little fox. It immediately hugged it tightly. Who's this little one? Iron Crutchley asked. Han Zhangli and Zhang Guolao were curious as well. The daughter of a dear friend, I answered. Oh? Watch her closely. She's gifted and might be taken by some great immortals. That happens often in the immortal realm, Iron Crutchley warned. I'll be careful, I assured him. The little fox was clever and talented. Many immortals like to take such creatures as spirit companions. Having a good master was a blessing, otherwise, it was torment. I'd never let her suffer. Even if things go wrong, I'd fight to save her first. The little fox looked up at them with big eyes. Such a well-behaved little fox is rare. Can she talk yet? Zhang Guolao reached out to pat her head. Not yet, I said. Zhang Guolao smiled as immortal light flickered around his hand. The little fox's eyes widened, and suddenly in a babyish voice, she asked, Grandpa, what are you doing? Her voice was cute, so much so that even she seemed surprised. I secretly rejoiced. Zhang Guolao had truly bestowed her with a great blessing. Han Zhangli and Tayagueli said nothing, just smiled. The little fox wasn't used to it, fearfully clinging to me, as if she couldn't believe she could actually speak. Aren't you going to thank Grandpa Zhang yet? I prompted. Thank you, Grandpa Zhang, she whispered shyly. Zhang Guolao laughed happily. Time's about up. Let's go talk to the great immortal. Lu Dongbin said seriously. All right. Tayagueli and the others agreed. They flew toward the immortal island, with me following in the middle, walking freely through the air. At that moment, the little fox quietly whispered, Can I call you Daddy? Her voice was both nervous and hopeful. No, I refused. It was clear she had grown up fatherless. Seeing how I treated her kindly, she wanted to find a father figure in me, but I couldn't agree. I knew her biological father most likely had died but must have loved her dearly, cherishing her as his precious daughter. I couldn't take that away. There was no reason for me to stir trouble without cause. The little fox's eyes watered, looking at me with quiet hurt. Get ready to hide, I instructed. She obediently pulled her head back. As we neared the immortal island, we saw that no formation was set up around it. Apparently, this great immortal looked down on using formation defenses. The overall layout referenced the 5 elements, but the island's feng shui was poor. The reason it hadn't proven problematic was because a powerful great immortal capable of suppressing negative feng shui energies lived there. If it were anyone else, they'd be either dead or crippled. The problem was a strange tree growing on the island, sucking in the surrounding spiritual energy. With the spiritual energy drained, how much could the owner really have left? Sure enough, the fruit on the strange tree had human faces watching us. Having absorbed so much spiritual energy, even the fruit bore intelligence. I had noticed those fruit quite some time ago. As we approached closer, the expressions on those faces even moved, glaring at us viciously. The atmosphere turned eerie. Allowed to grow such a bizarre tree on one's own land indicated the great immortal's reclusive personality. Han Zhengli said the great immortal was currently in seclusion. Right now, the island's gates were tightly shut, completely disregarding the 8 immortals. My mind was preoccupied with my 3-day appointment with the Yangtze River Dragon Maiden. I didn't want to waste more time, so I asked, who exactly is this great immortal? Jinling Shengmu, Lu Dongbin answered helplessly. Her? My face changed. Yes. I instantly tensed, holding the little fox tighter. I'd heard Jinling Shengmu was the top disciple of the Tongtian sect leader's 4 main followers, and that she had a bad temper. Jinling Shengmu, we've been ordered to maintain the celestial array and hope you'll accommodate us, Lu Dongbin said politely with a respectful bow. The island gates remained firmly closed, ignoring him completely. It was like putting warm cheeks against a cold buttocks. Taya Guili and the others smiled awkwardly. Obviously, they'd been refused before when coming to maintain the formation as well. Heavenly great immortals really had their airs. Jinling Shengmu probably thought the array was fine and was too lazy to maintain it. Jinling Shengmu, we're acting under orders, Lu Dongbin tried again. I tugged his sleeve, signaling him to stop. No matter how much they shouted, it was useless. Lu Dongbin sighed, without her giving us a formation token, we can't even get close to the celestial array. It seemed a special artifact was needed just to approach it. That was why Jinling Shengmu was so negligent. She is definitely in seclusion, I said. The tree's vigilance made sense. It was because the owner couldn't spare attention or had hit a stumbling block in cultivation. I wasn't guessing, I inferred this from the expressions on those human-faced fruits and the island's feng shui. Seclusion can't stop the maintenance of the celestial array. Lu Dongbin grumbled. If she keeps hiding, we're stuck, Zhang Gualao sighed. She made us wait 3 full days and nights last time before opening the gate. Now we have to wait again? Taya Guili said helplessly. There's nothing we can do, her immortal rank is above ours, Han Zhengli complained too. Don't worry. She's really not doing this on purpose. If we can't get her out, then it's time for plan B, I shrugged, unwilling to just wait around.